ask you what do you think should. But let me ask you first: why is President Tinubu repeating the Muslim ticket? I've had guests on this seat where you sat, prominent Northerners, Fulani, and not even non-Fulani Northerners, sit where you sat. In fact, Professor Usman Yusuf, the famous professor, for many years has been calling President Tinubu's Muslim ticket a scam. That is a scam. That it is not about Islam.
There's nothing Islamic about it.
There's nothing Islamic about it. Why? And then, from even what you said now, that northern youths are revolting against, the leaders and even the ulamas and all of that. But why? What's the audacity or the boldness of the president repeating this? Because look at the uproar when he announced Kashim in 2022. Look at the uproar. You would have thought, okay, now you're in office, just to assuage the sensibilities of almost 50% of Nigerian population. At least there are northern Christians who are as northerners as they come. Why do you think he has repeated this ticket?
I don't think he has any option not to repeat the ticket. And I'll tell you why. And this is it. The only reason why Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was able to...
I'm sure it's President Bola Ahmed, we want to say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The only reason...
He's our president now.
Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
No, let's do it. He's not your president, Aisha.
I don't have a president.
No, don't say that now.
Why would I not say that? If you want to
Bola
sit
Ahmed Tinubu is not your president.
Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos State, if you want to sit here,
so and you the one interview.
No, I don't even need to. I'll just walk away so that you answer. You ask yourself and you answer yourself.
Okay, so you don't accept he's the president of
Nigeria? No, I don't.
You don't accept?
No. I don't, because he didn't win the 2023 election.
But
he rigged it.
He won. The court said he won. Mm-hmm. And all of us Nigerians, except you, and maybe Dele Farotimi are the ones saying he didn't win.
So why then do you care about me?
You are a Nigerian. I'm before you now, so I need to know why you don't accept that.
I've just told you.
He didn't win.
He didn't win the 2023 election, and I don't see any reason why I should give, the only thing that I know to me is an illegitimate president, if that's what you want to hear.
Almost 4 years after Aisha.
It doesn't matter. Wrong is wrong. And we can't keep sweeping things under the table. And that's the audacity that he has to keep doing what he's saying. When he said all is fair in war, it's because of the audacity of him getting away with grab it, run with it, and everything. And this is what happens. You keep enabling him, especially the media. No, you keep enabling him.
INEC. That's the authorities.
So INEC is not here. You be a law-abiding citizen. Continue to abide the law. I'm Aisha.
INEC said he won. The highest court in the land, the Supreme Court, sanctified. Let me borrow the Christian phrase. Sanctified that he won. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I obey the Constitution, which is the ground norm. So I have to accept it. I don't have to say that, but I accept that he's president. Anyway,
if the Constitution was what we really followed, and the law, he wouldn't be there. We won't even be declared winner. But anyway, I'm coming back to the question. Or we're going to talk about.
No, continue with it.
So it's for a political reason that Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will keep on. What's his name now?
Kashim Shettima.
Mr. Kashim Shettima. I just remember earlier on I had a conversation with. I always have problem with names because I don't remember names as much. He does not have the Northwest. So in 2023, he could rig the election, because for you to even be able to rig election, you need a critical number. Yeah. So the Northwest gave him that critical number. And sometimes when election is too big to be rigged, when you rig it, you only rig it to reduce the embarrassment, not to win, because that's what we had in the different states. Even where our win was given to Roth, our numbers were really, reduced. So for now, he has lost that Northwest. One is that there were a lot of things that were going on in 2023. And one of the places where Tinubu had done, Mr. Tinubu has done his Mr. Tinubu thing was to put a front that he was sick. He was very sick, he was frail and everything. And there were a lot of people in the northern part of the country who bought into that. And it was, even if you go on Facebook, it wasn't a hidden thing. So there was this thing about, what happened with Yaradua was going to happen again. And I remember that time they brought Mr. Tinubu in with this.
Do you actually think that was a planned?
It was a scam. It was when you say 419, you're doing 419 things.
Sure? Did you actually believe that was a strategy?
Before. I'm telling you, it is. You are still asking me, am I sure? Am I supposed to go and bring another Aisha Yesufu to answer your question for you? Why are you asking me, am I sure? It was a scam. It was a master scam.
Wow.
Master scam. And even when he brought out, and then this thing was showing,
Yes.
I think, line,
Yes.
there were quite a number of people that were saying, look, they know this person and these people, that their capacity to do things will not allow that thing to be shown, but it was done for a reason. And so many people in the north believe that, and they ran with that. So most of them that were voting were not really voting for.
Aisha, please.
This is me, Aisha, talking. Now, can you allow me finish my thoughts?
Allow me, please. Just one. I'm sorry, really sorry, but. Okay.
The entire Mr. Tinubu is sick during 2022-2023 election was a scam, was a lie that was being sold to Ghana certain. We think that they are voting for Kashim. I put water for my mouth. They talk. They allow me. They talk now. When I don't flow land, you will come talk your own. Now you want to do this interview now? These are things I have said many times.
No, I'm hearing this for the first time.
I've analyzed it. So the thing is that people don't connect dots. I do that a lot. And for me, I'm able to see, I can see the bigger picture, look at this thing. Sometimes it can be a curse because you're seeing things before people see them and they are like, going after you. So the whole of that was a scam that was, and it was believed by a lot of people in the north because it was actually discussed. And then there was that thing where they say, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu just wants to be president. Even if he enters that day and he dies that day, he does not lie. So people believe that, and they were, as far as they're concerned, they were voting for Kashim. And it turned out, how you know that it was a scam? When results were announced by their own INEC's own fraudulent result. And then there was this video where Tinubu was dancing, and he went down. First when they sit, don't they do shaku, don't they go down, they come up. As soon as I got that election, he started that whole this thing. So, beyond that, on a more serious note now, right? Going back to that initial question that you asked me. So he has lost her because you see the suffering. You see the suffering in the north. You see where there's poverty, people are suffering, and you see the uncaring nature. Propaganda cannot take away suffering. Uncaring nature that has come from Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the spending spree that he went to, the very much lopsided appointments. Meanwhile, there were lopsided appointments during Buhari. That's why I don't have sympathy for anybody. Some people were defending that. Some northern leaders were defending that. When Tinubu said, how did they used to say that thing? Hold my stick or whatever. Let me show you what nepotism is. He carried on 2 times this thing. And all of this lopsided election and all of that. And then the needless fights with former Governor Nasiru El-Rufai. Nasiru El-Rufai and myself, there's no love lost between us. We did quarrel like no man's business. I think it was 2019 or February 2019 or 2022. We had a major quarrel even on, on Facebook. I remember then some people were saying to me, Aisha, you should be careful. Your property. You have a lot of properties in Kaduna. Let them try it. Now that day all of us were kukuma mad and everything. The kind of heinousness that was done on Nasiru El-Rufai. He has also done his own. We will talk karma and whatever. He too, when he was in power, he entered it here. He was doing it to other people. But that does not mean that we will not say the right thing when we see it. And when we are fighting for justice, it's not only for people that we like. Whether we like people or not, we must fight, for it. What Tinubu has done to Nasiru El-Rufai is heinous. You understand? It's abominable. In the fact that this is someone, I will tell you, Nasiru El-Rufai is I want to say the biggest reason why Tinubu got into office. He was the one that had the audacity to stand up to Buhari with all of those Naira thing, went all the way, their governors went and took the government to court on the Naira issue, went with him everywhere. And how do I put it now? Helped with the question, everything that needed to be done. Nasiru El-Rufai is the kind of person that he will carry matter on his head. If he believes in something, he will carry it on his head. Good or bad, he will carry it on his head. And so he did everything for Tinubu. And Tinubu then decided to disgrace him and punish him in the way that he is. People watch. People people get angry. We also, where Nasir El-Rufai had said that he was not going to do any position, he wanted to go on. And Tinubu standing there and saying that, I will not leave this stage until you promise me that you are going to do all of that. Then you now come to disgrace him, even at the National Assembly. We know the National Assembly is in the pocket of Mr. Tinubu. And then to say that, oh, they did not make him that minister and whatever, that was him trying to break him. So that has caused a lot of rancor, and not just that, and other things. For him now he needs to keep the Northeast as much as he can. Which other region? With the Middle Belt, you have seen him, he has been trying very hard to go on and give the lots of appointments. You see the appointment that will come. I think the INEC chair, they were quite the APC chairman. There has been some sort of compensation. SJ, who is the SJF? Oh yeah, that's the SDF and all of that, to bring the middle belt, because he's trying to get, the Christian within the middle belt to say, okay, we appease them to say, we have you on this thing. So he cannot afford not to have a Kashim, because now if he takes out Kashim, then the Northeast are going to, there's nothing to even placate them. They're going to be angry. You saw, even when Ganduje was chairman of APC, they almost lynched him. He tried it. He saw the anger, because the Northeast now, they tested the waters. And it might even be one of those things why this one, they had to tell Ganduje, oh yeah, go and get something else and give this. They tested the water. They saw those ones were ready to stand. So he can't afford to, he has lost the Northwest. Northeast is there, that he and Atiku are going after. Then you lose, then the middle, but you still can't, because in middle, the Muslim ticket is still a major issue. Because look, whether we like it or not, and we can have two truths at the same time. I think that's what people shy away for. There is indeed a genocide in Nigeria within the way people are being killed in yeah, I believe that. And there is also a genocide against Muslims. So yes, when people say there's genocide, some don't say there's genocide against. How will you not say there's genocide when you see people they are being killed because of their religion?
Entire villages, entire
communities, you kill them. Communities that it's all, are Christians. You enter the church, you kill them. But it does not also take away the fact that there's also genocide against Muslims in Nigeria, because people have been killed in mosques. They have been killed in their villages. Villages that are all Muslims have been wiped out. They've been killed. People have run away from villages. Villages are ghost towns. So at the end of the day, there is genocide in Nigeria where citizens are being killed, both the Muslim and the Christian, etc. But you'll find that there is more of the Christians that are being killed. These are truths that we must sit down and recognize and work towards it. But let me tell you something. The saddest part, and I want to, it might not, it's not part of your question, but I want to say it to illustrate what I'm talking about. The saddest part in Nigeria is that for your death to matter as a Nigerian, you have to be killed in certain places. And I'll give you an example. As a Muslim, if you're killed in Northwest, your death doesn't matter. If you're killed in Sokoto, in this thing, your death doesn't matter. As a Christian, if you're killed in the Southeast or South, your death doesn't matter. For your death to matter, you have to be a Christian killed either in the Northwest or in the northern part of the country, and you have to be a Muslim killed in the southern part of the country. Let me give you an example. When we had Uromi, some hunters were massacred and killed in Uromi. I think Uromi 16 or something they called it. There was an uproar all over the country. Northern leaders that you don't hear them speaking, other than when they are arranging mass marriage, that you see them, all of them, northern governors were talking, were angry. They are killing their people in the south. They are killing Muslims in the south. Meanwhile, if those Muslims were Edo Muslims, nobody would have said anything. Their Islam doesn't matter. You understand? So it wouldn't have made any. But because they were from the north passing through and they were killed, they were killed. Guess what? A few days later, I think about 20 Muslims were killed in Sokoto by the terrorists. The same northern governors that were shouting about their people being killed were no longer shouting, because it didn't matter. There was no religious distinction, because these are Muslims killed by Muslims. in Northern, who are you going to accuse? There was nothing. The same thing. When you see some deaths will happen, when Southeast people are killed, terrorists will go and massacre, you don't see the Christian leaders coming out to say, oh no, their people are being killed in the South. They will make it a Biafra issue, they make it whatever, everybody will unlook. But when Christians are killed in Plateau, Benue, then that makes it, that's when they now speak up. So we all are the problem. At the end of the day, terrorists all are killing us. They don't care, but we have made it a religious and a tribal thing.
What should happen to this cleric who was calling Christians infidels and saying if they can't bear the Muslim, they should go toss into the lagoon for all he cares? And then what should happen to Senator Adefada Onsi, the senator representing Osun East, who said openly, recorded, even though he tried to deny and say it, he eventually said it's AI. Should they just walk free, both of them? Because that's incitement to violence.
That's not a question that should be asked of me. Or that's a question that you should sit the people who are in office down and ask them. This is a question that the IG of police should be answering. This is a question that the EFCC chairman should be answering, not a question that Aisha Yesufu will be asking. How many times have we asked for prosecution? Nobody should be above the law. If you say you are a religious leader, you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much that you make certain things, then you should be able to also rot in jail. For that sake, after all, there are a lot of people that you can go and preach to them. Why must you preach using Jeep, the finest cars and this thing? You can preach in prison. Anybody they should be prosecuted. But the thing is, asking me this thing, what does it? It doesn't make any sense as far as I'm concerned at this time, because we keep talking about these things and they're not being done. What then needs to happen is to put the people who are supposed to be in authority to do it. Of course, you know the EFCC chairman, or let me say the EFCC becomes blind when the people who are either in government or related to those in government, supporters of them, do all manner of things. We also recently the wife, they say the wife of a sitting elective officer, whether senator or something, putting out bundles, and some of them were wearing APC uniform.
Candidates of the APC in Nasarawa.
Okay, exactly. Putting out money. Where is EFCC in all of this? Is EFCC will be blind and all of that. So I don't think this is a question for me. For me, is that everybody should be prosecuted. Nobody is above the law. If you say you want to tell us how much you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how much you love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, go to prison and go and continue the preaching all out there. But as far as Nigeria, the laws of Nigeria, must be obeyed, and that's it.